Welcome back to Zander's Empire, the show where we dig deeper into the stories that shape the world. Even if the world forgot about them, I'm your host, Zander XM, and today's episode is all about history's most underrated moments. The events that never made it into most classrooms but quietly changed everything. Some stories are loud revolutions, wars, iconic speeches, but others? They happen in the shadows. They're strange, surprising, and sometimes downright bizarre. Yet their impact is massive. So buckle up. We're traveling from ancient riots to mysterious plagues and even a solar storm that could wipe out the internet if it happened today. Let's begin. Let's start with a riot. Not the kind you hear about in modern news. This one took place in Constantinople, the heart of the Byzantine Empire. In 532 AD, a massive crowd gathered in the Hippodrome, think ancient stadium, to protest. Taxes, corruption, and political factions. These weren't just angry sports fans. They united under a single chant, Nika. Nika, meaning victory. The chaos spiraled out of control. Buildings burned, prisoners were freed, and Emperor Justinian was on the verge of fleeing the city. But his wife, Theodora, one of the boldest women in ancient history, told him to stay and fight. The result? Justinian ordered a brutal military crackdown. Over 30,000 people were killed in a single day. The empire survived, but barely. Why don't we hear more about this? Maybe because it doesn't fit the neat, noble image of ancient empires, but the Nika riots changed Constantinople forever and nearly rewrote history. Now, what if I told you a solar flare once shut down the world's technology? Well, in 1859, it happened, known as the Carrington event. This massive solar storm struck Earth with a burst of radiation so powerful it fried telegraph wires, shocked operators, and set paper on fire. Auroras were seen as far south as the Caribbean. Birds got confused. People thought the world was ending. Now imagine if that happened today to a world filled with satellites, airplanes, power grids, and smartphones. We're not ready. Despite its scale, the Carrington event is barely mentioned in history books. But if it repeats, and scientists say it could, it would be one of the biggest global disasters in modern history. Next, we travel to Tulsa, Oklahoma. In 1921, the black neighborhood of Greenwood, often called Black Wall Street, was thriving. Full of doctors, entrepreneurs, lawyers, and successful businesses. Then, in a single night, it was destroyed. A white mob, angered by a false accusation, looted, burned, and bombed the area. Yes, planes dropped firebombs from above. Over 300 people were killed, thousands displaced. The story was erased from textbooks for nearly a century. Only recently has Tulsa's massacre become part of the mainstream conversation. But for decades, it was a whispered secret. Greenwood's destruction wasn't just a local tragedy, it was a turning point in Black American economic history and a symbol of how silence can erase justice. And now, the weirdest entry on today's list. Picture this. It's summer in Strasbourg, 1518. A woman walks into the street and starts dancing. She doesn't stop, she dances for hours. Then days, then dozens of people join her. They dance until they collapse. Some even die. It's called the Dancing Plague of 1518, and it actually happened. No one's quite sure why. Theories range from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning, a hallucinogenic mold found in bread. But this bizarre event is a reminder of how mysterious and fragile human behavior can be, especially in times of stress, fear, or famine. And it's a story that's often left out of history because, well, it sounds like fiction, but it's not. So why do these stories matter? Because history isn't just the big names and battlefields. It's riots that almost destroyed empires. It's solar storms that nearly burned our wires. It's vibrant communities lost to silence, and sometimes it's people dancing until they die. These forgotten events help us see the present more clearly. They show us how fragile power can be, how quickly things can change, and how easily stories get buried. Let's keep unearthing them one episode at a time. Thanks for listening to your podcast name. If you enjoyed this, leave a review, share it with a curious friend, and stay tuned for more untold tales from the corners of history. Until next time, stay curious.